Well, when I was a kid, I'd take a trip every summer down to Mississippi to visit Granny and really build a world. Well, I'll run barefoot all day long, climbing trees, freeze a song, and one day I happened to catch myself a squirrel. Well, I shoved him in an old shoebox, punched a couple holes in the top. When Sunday came around, I snuck him into church. Well, I was sitting very back with my very good friend Hugh, where the squirrel got loose and went totally berserk. Well, what's hard to tell. Some thought it was heaven, others thought it was hell. But the fact there was something among us was plain to see. As the choir sang, I surrender all. Squirrel run up hard, cover all, and the Lord released his feet, said, "Lord, something's got a hold on me." The day the squirrel went berserk in that first Baptist church in that sleepy little town of Piqua. It was a fight for survival that broke out in revival. They were jumping, fusing, shouting, hallelujah! Well, Harp hit the aisles, dancing, screaming. Some thought it was religion, others thought it was a demon. Well, Harp thought he had a weed loose in his Fruit of the Loom. And he fell to his knees, and he pled, and he begged, and the squirrel ran out of his britches undeserved by the other side of the room. All the way down to the Amen pew, where Sister Bertha better than you. She been watching the commotion statistically. Why, shoot, you seen the look in her eyes when the squirrel jumped in her garden across her thighs. She jumped to her feet, said, "Lord, mercy on me." And the squirrel made laps in her dress. She began to cry and confess the sins that would make a sailor blush for shame. She told the gossip and the church dissension, but the thing that got the most attention, when she started talking about her love life, she started naming names. Chris. The world went berserk in that first self-righteous church in that sleepy little town of Piqua. It was a fight for survival that broke out in revival. They were jumping pews and shouting, hallelujah! Well, 7 deacons and the pastor got saved. $25,000 got raised. 50 volunteered for the missions on Congo on the spot. And even without an invitation, everybody was coming down to Miklo's for rededication and new pizza. Well, we need it or not. Now you've heard the Bible story, I guess, how he parted the waters for the miracle God brought to this old world. But the one I remember to my dying day was when we walked into Miklo's and they had 2 topping pizzas with a half-crazed Mississippi Squirrel. The devil went berserk in that third self-righteous town, in that sleepy little town of Piqua. It was a fight for survival that broke out in revival. They were jumping pews and shouting, hallelujah! The devil went berserk in that first self-righteous church, in that sleepy little town of Piqua. It was a fight for survival that broke out in revival. They were jumping pews and shouting, hallelujah! The squirrel went berserk in that third righteous church, in that sleepy little town of Piqua.